Hey folks, welcome to another episode on the Whiskey and Whitetails YouTube channel. I'm Gus, and today we're going to talk about making the most of your whitetail bow season. Let's get into it. First thing is to keep shooting. So many people spend the off season practicing with their bow, getting used to new archery equipment, a new release, a new arrow setup, only to stop shooting once the season starts. We all know that archery is a depreciating skill set. If you don't practice, you lose your accuracy, you lose your efficiency through your pull and release and your general setup. So don't stop shooting when the season starts. There are a couple of drills that you can do to help during the season with maintaining your archery skill set. The first is to set a target at 30 yards and try, if you can, to shoot from a stand or an elevated position or platform. What you want to do is shoot 3 arrows and do your best to get them within a 4-inch square. If you can get them within a 4-inch grouping rather, that's a complete end. Each round is referred to as an end. You want to do 5 to 10 ends, and you want to shoot these with your broadhead, the same way you would have set up in the field. What this is going to do is get you through a lot of repetitions, build that muscle memory, and build that familiarization with your equipment so that you don't lose that throughout the season. The more you do that, the easier your shot placement and your shot becomes when you're faced with that buck and you've got that adrenaline running and your heart's pounding. It makes everything else fall in line a little bit easier. So don't stop practicing. Keep shooting. You're bound to reap the benefits of maintaining your good archery habits. The next thing you can do is practicing the long draw or the draw hold. What this is practicing that situation we've all been in where a deer is in front of you moving across, but maybe they pause or they stop with the opportunity or shot opportunity that you thought you were originally going to have. So you're left there at full draw, holding your bow, trying not to shake yourself out of the tree because your arms are getting tired. So what you're going to do is you're going to, in the same stand or elevated platform with a target at 30 yards, you're going to come to full draw with your bow and you're going to hold it for a minute to start with. And you'll work your way up to 2 minutes. But after that time has elapsed, then you're going to aim with your bow and aim for at least 15 seconds and then take your shot anytime after that 15 seconds. That's going to simulate you having to hold your bow at full draw, take the time to acquire your target and your target placement once you have the opportunity, and then release. By practicing this, you put yourself in a situation of advantage by having been through this situation before. While that buck is in front of you or that doe and you're starting to get tired, you can remind yourself that you've been in this situation before, you've practiced this and it's nothing new, and it builds confidence in your ability to take that shot while you're experiencing some of that fatigue. All right, the next thing to help you get the most out of your whitetail bow hunting season is scent control. Now, I know that there are folks who claim that they can smoke cigarettes and drink soda out of their tree stand and they can slay big deer all season long, and that's fine. Those folks are probably sitting in a tree stand at Grandpa's farm shooting a deer at 150 yards with a 30-06, not trying to shoot a deer within 30 yards with a stick and string. So for bow hunting, scent control is important, and it's important that you take every advantage that you can with scent control to ensure that you make the most out of your season. So this means making sure that you are treating yourself, making sure you shower or wash when you can, use field wipes if you can't, wash your clothes, treat your clothes with spray or an ozone box if possible. We'll put a link to our DIY build of an ozone box somewhere on this screen. You can go check that out. It's been very successful. I used it on our Kentucky whitetail hunt that we recapped during our last podcast, and I saw at one point had 8 deer around me. And they were actually downwind from where I was at. So the ozone box did a great job of masking all that scent. I throw all of my gear in there, including my backpack, and it does a great job. You can also look at investing in an ozonics unit, especially if you are traveling, you're going to be out of state or in public land where maybe you can't shower as easily. These are a couple $100, recharge multiple batteries, and those go in the tree with you and help mask some of your scent. So maintaining scent control, making sure that you are not giving away your location and educating the deer, because you have to hunt them so much closer than you would with a rifle, for example. The next thing is making sure you're not pressuring the deer at this point in the season. Most of us who are bow hunting are doing so not only because we love the aspect of archery and hunting with archery equipment, but we're taking advantage of the early season opportunities that are afforded to archery hunters before the rifle season kicks in and the Orange Army makes their way into the woods. Well, many of us still continue to either bow hunt or rifle hunt later in the season, so you don't want to ruin good hunting spots by pressuring deer too much early in the season. So make sure you are using trail cameras if you can to understand how the deer are moving. This time of the year, in September specifically, the deer have started to, if they haven't already, moved away from their summer eating patterns and are moving more into their fall patterns. Bachelor groups of bucks are breaking apart and establishing their home ranges that they'll use for the rut. So understanding how they're moving, where they're moving in between bedding and feeding spaces is important to understanding where they're at and where you can hunt. You want to make sure you're not bumping deer on the way into your stand or blowing deer out of a bedding area on your way out. Take advantage of things like having a buddy pick you up at a deer stand. Be prepared to stay 15-20 minutes after dark so that deer have time to either get out of there from where they were maybe eating or allow your partner or your hunting buddy to come in and pick you up on your vehicle or on a vehicle. Tractors, ATVs, trucks, things that are generally used on that piece of property, the deer associate with normal everyday activity, and they won't be as bothered by a vehicle coming through as they might be by a hunter climbing out of a stand and tromping through the area where they were just eating. So you're less likely to educate them and make them weary of what's going on in that area. So take some time to look at your entry and exit points so you can make sure you're not pressuring those deer, and make sure that you have, if possible, a plan to allow someone to help pick you up from your hunting location so that you can reduce the amount of pressure you're putting on that hunting spot. This will allow you to not only not pressure the deer, but also this will allow you to not only reduce the amount of pressure you're putting on deer, but it'll afford you more opportunities to come back and hunt that spot in the future. So that is our key 3 takeaways for making the most out of your bow hunting season. Continue to practice, continue to shoot your bow, maintain your efficiency with your archery equipment. Make sure you're managing your scent with your equipment, your clothing, and yourself as much as possible. And make sure you are not overpressuring deer this early in the season so that you can make the most of opportunities in bow season and also later in the whitetail season. That's all that I have for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Check out the links below for all the things whiskey and whitetails. And don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button. We'll see you next time.